Mrima Hills, here's what's happening. So, Mrima Hills is a complex of dense forests in Lunga Lunga, which is in Kwale County. And it's about 115 hectares. Now, back in 2013, a company called Kotek Mining, and ilikuwa belong to Jacob Juma, ilinyimwa a license ya kuoperate hapo, na hapo ndio story ilianza. Walinyimwa license kwa nini? Walinyimwa license after kudiscover that kuna niobium worth about $62 billion. That's about 8 trillion Kenya shillings. But of late kumekuwa na renewed interest, and here's why. In addition to a number of private international mining companies expressing interest in exploring the area, the US government has also been keen in investing, or rather exploring the area. Mark Dillard, who was then US envoy to Kenya, visited the area in June, and it is speculated that J.D. Vance could also visit the area during his visit to Kenya. Why? Because the US has been keen on rare earths and, putting that at the center of its diplomacy in Africa. You remember the deal that Rwanda signed with Congo M23? The US got a deal of exploring the mineral deposits in Congo. And that's why people are quite interested in knowing what their interests are in the in Mrima Hills.
Mrima Hill. Let me explain this in a context we will all understand. When every African country that is warlocked, half of them, actually 3/4 of them, have resources of which Western countries, or let's say militia or greedy politicians, want to have a part of. Nigeria right now, there are mass killings. There is oil there. In Sudan, there is gold. In Congo, there is cobalt. There is diamonds. Congo is a hall of minerals. They have been in civil war for more than 3 decades. And in Kenya, we have Mrima Hill. I tend to presume from what you see on social media, Jacob Juma was eliminated because he had an idea of what was in Mrima Hill. If we flip for some reason, and politicians, like the ones we have right now in Kenya, get control of Mrima Hill, the Chinese come in, the wanaitwaja wa huku kando, those ones come in, we will not only lose Mrima Hill, we will lose the control of our country. Na mimi na wewe kama wapiga kura, the people who place politicians in that spaces, such that they can have opinions to control whatever they think is beneficial to them, they will flee this country with the utmost speed. Where the fuck am I spitting? Yeah. You will call it negated, but trust you me, dictators have strategies, and they function so well if they get control of things that they can loot, steal. Simple math.
Salam guys, let us talk about Mrima Hill, the sacred hill in Kwale County. Now you cannot mention Mrima Hill without mentioning Jacob Juma. Jacob Juma was murdered about a decade ago. Now, why Mrima Hill? Because it holds the world's richest untapped deposits of rare earth minerals, worth about $62 billion. Now, could this have been the reason why Jacob Juma was killed? But before we get there, it has become a battleground because the Americans are interested, the Chinese are interested, an Australian firm is equally interested, and back in 2013 there was a British firm that was interested. Part 2, let's talk about Jacob Juma.
Sometimes the greatest danger isn't invasion. It's silence while others take what's ours. In Kenya's Mrima Hills lies one of the world's richest deposits of rare earth minerals, the same ones used in smartphones, wind turbines, and electric cars. Now, global powers are paying attention. But this story isn't just about what's underground. It's about who stands to lose everything above it. The Digo community has lived around Mrima Hills for generations, in villages like Mrima, Mwambovu and Zuni. For them, the forest isn't a resource, it's sacred ground. It's where their ancestors rest, where they find medicine, where life begins and ends. Yet, as companies circle and promises of wealth grow louder, one question remains: who will truly benefit? If we don't stand guard over our own resources, someone else will. As Kenyans, as Africans, we must protect what's ours: our land, our minerals, our future. Kenya's wealth should feed her people, not foreign greed or local corruption. Progress should never come at the cost of our integrity. It's time we put people before profit, because if we lose that, we lose everything. And please, please watch who's visiting Kenya. When world leaders come smiling for cameras, stay alert. Ask whose interests are being served and whose voices are being silenced. This is the Africa you're not shown, but I'm here to show you.